So the teaching of duality is kind of complicated because it sounds like I'm trying to get you to starve yourself. However, it's more like getting you to understand that being awake, being disciplined, being aware that everything that looks good ain't good, you know what I'm saying, is a part of being saved. You know what I'm saying? Being in alignment, body and spirit, means the spirit is able to convince your body that, baking the manna is the right way to do things. That ram didn't come on a leash, so you shouldn't accept anything that's hanging on the string. You understand? And I don't know if you understood that analogy, but the enemy offers you whatever you tell your spirit that you want, right? But there's always strings attached. You ever have a food craving that becomes a habit? It likely becomes disease that will ultimately kill you. And this is not to be vulgar or anything like that, but it's definitely just to make you aware that um, all of those times where something started off sweet and ended up really bad, those were the counterfeit blessings that you accepted from the enemy, or those blessings from God that you didn't necessarily know how to nurture because you were too lazy. So the spirit is always telling you you're a better version of yourself than you allow yourself to be. And you always have a choice. That thing inside of you that God put inside of you before you exited your mother's womb is the story. The story that you actually made it through your mother's womb, right? And I know how silly that sounds, right? But everybody don't make it through, and everybody don't make it through with a mother, and everybody don't go home to a two-parent household and a happy family. Everybody's not raised by a happy family. But that story is very, very beneficial because everybody don't have the same story. There's a lot of individuals in this world who has stories, right? That they are ashamed to talk about because we're selling the stories of the happy, healthy families, right? And not talking about the ones that aren't so sweet, right? And the reason you'll talk about it is because, well, it's healing to express yourself. And it's also healing to know that you're not alone in the world. So, with that being said, your testimony heals. And it's not a testimony meant to trauma bind because all you're doing is putting a ram in the bush. Drop the gem and let God do his work in there. Because your truth means everything. The truth. In the beginning, there was the word. God bless you. I hope you could receive that.